going on? Woo, is I'm on here looking a mess today. Hey y'all, so today's video we're going to talk about old school heat transfers, a regular Epson printer with Epson ink. Can you still make money with it? Um, so I'm gonna do a order using those, and I'm gonna cut off this light because it is shining so brightly, or at least I will cut it down so that it does not have as much of a glare. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so quite often people want to do printing at home, or you just want to, jump in to printing, and you may not have a lot of equipment and things like that. So we're going to talk about an easy way to make a little money. Talk about the pros and cons of using inkjet transfers. These are Jet Pro Soft Stretch transfers that I am cutting up here. And all you need is your transfer paper, a heat press, and your Epson printer. I'm a huge fan of Epson inks. Back in the day, I was known as the heat press queen. And I started out my business doing jobs like this. And to this day, I still love it. It's a lot of different techniques out now, a lot of different processes that are out. But hey, there's still a use for it, and I'm going to tell you when. This is the perfect job for me to do old school heat transfers. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to print on Hanes. I have some Hanes cotton t-shirts. So you want to start out with a t-shirt that has a tight weave. Just your regular, smuggler, degular cotton t-shirts. I do have a few next level shirts that are in there. And next level shirts are ring spun cotton. So better quality shirt. Whether or not the print sometimes with these I don't like. We'll see how that works. But the first thing you have to do is I have my printer over here, which I'm just using this one, y'all. I'm just using this one. We're going to make us 500 bucks real quick. Okay. So the first thing you want to do before you ever even attempt to do any type of transfer is make sure that you run a nozzle check, and you got a good nozzle check because we're doing a photo. So I've got my good nozzle check, and I've got my transfers. I'm going to go ahead and load them up. Well, I'm going to finish cutting some, and then I will load up the transfers, and we'll start printing the transfers. Now I'm going to tell you what type of jobs you could use this with. So I'm going to be printing on white shirts today. White is always best for this type of work because it's made to print on white shirts. You can do light color shirts. Some light color shirts you will have what's called a polymer. And polymer is like a glue that's on this paper that adheres to the cotton part of the t-shirt, right? This is going to get you 50 washes, y'all, if you do it right. It's going to get you 50 washes. Maybe more. I've done shirts that I've had 15, 16 years. And when I say 50 washes is going to pretty much outlast a shirt. I mean, how many times do you wear a white shirt? This particular job is for a graduation. And so it is considered something that is like memorabilia, one-time wear. Maybe they'll wear it, a few times, stuff like that. Doing birthdays, things like that. This type of printing would be perfect for. I have 11 by 17 inch sheets, so I have to cut them. And as I'm cutting them, I'm going to show you guys what I do. So I'm just cutting these to like 8.5 inches. But when I take these off, if you notice, this is the side that I cut. I flip this so that the side that I cut is all, when I stack it, the side that I cut is all on one side. So when I load these into the printer, in case I screw up or anything like that, you know. What's going on, Keisha? So let's kind of sit this to the side. Hopefully I got enough of those. I don't think so. Let's see. Let me count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We need a few more, y'all. So, this job we're going to print front and back. You do need a silicone sheet. I don't recommend using Teflon to cover the print with to do your second press. We're going to actually do 2 presses on this. The Jet Pro Soft Stretch is either a cold peel or a hot peel. If you peel it, and I'm not even going to say a hot peel, I'm going to say a warm peel. So if you peel it warm, then it will, that's the best way to peel it, is warm. I'm going to run this at about 375 on the heat press. I'm going to do just a couple more because I do have a front. And the front of 25 shirts, I'm going to be able to do with just 2 sheets. Just 2 sheets with the front. This is that double trouble design that I did a few days ago. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this down here and out of the way. Now we have our sheets done. You're also going to need a good pair of scissors. So let's sit this up there. And my printer has just the regular, smegular, degular Epson inks in it. I've also done this with sublimation inks, right? So I'll tell you guys about both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the printer real quick and get that part taken care of and do a test print. Okay, so I've got that done. I've got the printer loaded up and I want to do a test print. This is the job that I'm going to do, and I'm going to go ahead because I got this so close to the edge, right? On my settings, I'm just using 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Don't forget you can get that printer for like 199 bucks, I do believe. I'm going to use premium presentation matte and standard print quality for now. If you find that your print quality is not what you want it to be, you can go in and customize that to an RGB color profile or something like that. Over here under options, you will use, and let me go over here under options to custom, and then go into your photo options in there. I'm sorry, in advanced here. And then you can go in and do color controls and things like that. We're just going to leave it plain and simple because I do find that the transfer colors from Epson are normally right. So I'm going to start out with it. Where are y'all at? There we go. I'm going to start out with it like that. And so I'm going to take off. I'm going to put mirror image on because you do want to print this backwards, right? You want to print it backwards. And we're going to take high speed off and uncheck that. Okay, and then we can add this to presets, and we'll call this 8.5 by 11 inch transfers. Some people will run their transfers on, and we're going to say light because this is light paper. Um, okay, and then we'll save it. And then we'll close that. Okay, so let's go ahead and print a test print. I always just start out with like one print, just one print, just to, and I only want to do the current page. And I think I done did a test print on both pages, but I only want to do the current page, y'all. So over here today, we're going to be using my El Cheapo HTV runt press that I talk crap about all the time. I purchased it to do events because it's lightweight. Only reason I purchased it. Honestly, you need a heat press that will apply a lot of pressure. But we're going to work it. I figured out a way to kind of work around this thing. So we're going to work it out over there. I could have used, so yes, I am cutting them down to 8.5 by 11 because my client did not want great big prints. Some people don't want those oversized prints. They just want a regular print. If I was going to do it with 11 by 17, I would have used this printer, which is the Canon print. The reason I choose not to use the Canon, my Canon printer, y'all, is because my Canon printer has aftermarket inks in it. Canon inks are good. Canon inks, if you have a Canon printer, they won't fade. Think about when you are thinking about doing like photo prints with an inkjet printer, you have to think about things like Epson print quality, photo quality print, how their inks don't don't fade, don't wash away, things like that when they're doing photo printing, because we all know Epson was made to do photo prints. Also Canon, Kodak, things like that. Would I use an HP printer to do this type of printing? Absolutely not. So my printer over there has aftermarket inks in it, El Cheapo inks in it, and so I only use that to do my screen print films and maybe like some digital work and things like that. If I was going to use it now, I can transfer back and forth. Like I could put my bullshit inks in there and then put my quality inks in there if I was going to use it for that, but I don't use it for that. That one is my sublimation print. Okay, so while that first print is getting ready for me, I'm going to go ahead and turn on this press, and I'm going to heat this up to 375. Now, I have not done one of these prints in a long time because I don't get a lot of use for it until it's around time of birthdays, graduations, things like that. And normally, y'all know I do 24 pieces or above. I've cut my minimums down to 6 pieces. And so this was a job that was actually supposed to be for my sons to do. And close my door in case my mom walks out of her room. So this was a job that was actually going to be for my son to do. I'm going to put this at 25 seconds. So we're going to do 375 for 25 seconds. And he ended up not getting this done. My goal was to teach him, was talking to them about making money, right? And paying your rent. Like, if you don't want to work and you work for somebody, or you want to do a side hustle and you got a heat press, then hey, you can still make your money just off of doing a few shirts. Let's say, if you need to pay rent, you do 4 jobs like this a month. That's $2,000 a month. Your rent's $1,500. You got the money in on the, you've made your money to be able to survive. So I've got my shirts here, and we're just gonna go ahead and just lay this baby here. thing I don't like about this press is that it does not come out far enough. They should have built this where it would come out a little bit further. They didn't. What can I do about it, right? What can I do about it? Absolutely nothing. So I was only supposed to pre-press that, y'all, and then moved over. So here is my first print, right? You do want to let that first print, it's kind of wet. And this is standard quality. Look at that. That is standard quality on matte settings. So shows you that you don't have to do a really, thick, not thick. I'm thinking about ink, y'all. You don't have to do a fine quality or photo quality or anything like that. This is actually going to go on the back of the shirt. I'm over here messing up already. So that's going to go on the back of the shirts. And let's see here if I am able to use this. So she does not want them low, she said. And so I actually had this set at 11 inches wide, which would have been covered most of the back. She did not want this to go down low. So this is what we're going to have right here on the shirt. That's how it's going to look. Okay, so while that is kind of cooling, I'm going to grab a pair of scissors real quick, because what I like to do, I want to do quality work. Let me grab a pair of scissors real quick, y'all. They're probably out here in this other part of the house. So, y'all, I am trying to detox from so much coffee. That coffee had been driving my blood pressure up. So, detoxing from that and just drinking H2O. No wine. No wine, no coffee. Okay, so as that's going, I'm going to go ahead and set my other transfers to print. Because now that we have checked the first one, we know that we're good to do all of them. So I'm just going to set this to 25. And you could literally be doing like something else around the house or in your office while you're working. So a lot of times, like most people nowadays, I see people, they cut everything up, cut around stuff. What I use these transfers for with cutting stuff is just to cut. If you're doing on white, you're not going to really see anything, right? You can put this on there just like this. However, you would still have this kind of polymer, which makes the shirt kind of hard. I kind of want mine to feel, I only want feel where the shirt, where the design is. That's the only place I want to feel it. And we want to stretch this out. So if you're doing, like, let's say if you were doing this on like a light pink shirt, right? What would happen is you may have like a little outline where you can see a different kind of shade of the pink. So I prefer to do these, and that really happens a lot with like gray shirts. So sports gray, I don't like to use this on. I'll use like a ash gray, a beige, a really light cream color, things like that will work. And this one is the one for light transfers, for light color transfers, right? As far as dark color transfers go, it's really, you know, the quality of DTF has come about, and so it's DTF is so much better quality than if you were using um, the light transfer. So, I mean, the dark transfer. Um, you know, with a dark transfer, I would say definitely, you know, 5 uses, something like that. So this is what I'm going to work with. It's dry. And while my other prints are printing out, I'm going to go ahead and print this. There is a design that's going on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and heat press this one on here. And I just want to make sure that my press is straight. I'm using this circle here, y'all, so I kind of know where I'm putting this, and I'm just guiding it using this circle to tell me where it's going to be, where the center of the shirt is. And I think I'm pretty good. Oh, I'm actually on 400, and I need to drop that temp down to 375. Now, you can warm peel this. I'm not going to warm peel mine because I'm going to be doing fronts. So I'm trying to save time once I actually go into production. So I'm going to press them all, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to do my fronts, and then I'm going to peel my back. And then by the time I peel my back and come back to my front will be to cool down a little bit, and it'll be warm, and I'll peel it too. And then I will always seal it with a silicone sheet, right? We'll seal it with silicone sheet. Great way to make some quick, fast money doing shirts. If y'all got any questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them. I always say that there are different methods for different things. Like if you're doing something for a daycare or a little soccer team or something like that that has a lot of color in it, this would be a great way to do it. I'll go ahead and cool this down and do this, show you guys. So normally, if I am going to pull this, you see how I stretch this out. You're seeing the paper starting to move. I'll do it like this, and I'll stretch it out because that stretching does matter. And then I'll go ahead and start pulling. And on this one, let it cool down a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Come on. I'm going to tell y'all also, put your paper in a, you want to put your paper, keep your paper in a, what do you call it? Trying to think, y'all. Give me a moment. My aphasia's bother me. You want to put your paper in a Ziploc bag. Right? And keep it somewhere cool. So here's our first print. I did have a little problem right here on the edge with that first pull. So we'll take it and put a silicone sheet on it after you have stretched it out. The silicone sheet is different from a Teflon sheet in that the Teflon sheet is going to make your print shiny. When I started doing prints, shiny was the shit back then, right? And so everybody wanted that gloss. We had a product called, I think it was called Dazzle Trans, was the name of the product. And it would make your print shine like patent leather. Well, as time went by on, people did not want those shiny prints, and you see the ink does not come off, so you can use this. I've literally had these sheets for about 15 years, and I just reuse them. I'm probably down to the last, probably down to like the last 20 of them or so, but I've reused them over and over. So when you do that, it pushes the print in. That's the secret. You want to push the print in to where it feels like it's been screen printed, right? And so there we got it. That's going to be her shirt right there. It's going to be the first one. So I'm just going to go ahead and let all of them get printed, and it does take a while for them to print, but like I said, you could be doing something, you're doing something else in the midst of that printing. I do have fast printing turned off, so let me turn fast printing on. I'm gonna cancel this out after it does this last one, and I'm gonna turn my fast print on and show the difference between the print when it's doing a fast print versus doing just a slow print. And I use fast printing all the time to speed up the time of what it takes to get something done. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the process if I can. So let's see. Once that prints, it's still printing on. So today I have to deliver. Today is going to be a really, really light day in the shop. I've got to deliver some shirts. I'm going to deliver 3 different orders that I'm going to take out and deliver, as well as pick up some shirts, since Monday was like a non-working day. I'm trying to catch up on some stuff so that by the first of the month, everything that's due this month is gone and done, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm just canceling that, and then I'm going to go over here once that cancels, and I'm going to change in my settings in print options. I'm going to take that high speed and put it back on, and we'll hit OK, and then we will test and see, do one print and see what it looks like. Right. Gotta put the paper back in because I took the paper out. I did hit cancel on this thing, didn't I? Let me check and make sure how many jobs are in queue. Now this is the thing, whatever you start on, like, you should finish on. So if you start doing the transfers using high print off, then fast printing off, then do all of them fast printing off. If you do fast printing, then leave fast printing off. But do them all one way so that your transfers, your prints are consistent throughout the whole batch of the run that you're going to do. It's going to make your customers happy. You don't want some jobs being printed some way and some printed another way. You want them all to be printed the same way. I do believe I have this thing going now. Let me look at the print queue and see what's going on, what I have it on. Because I hit cancel like 2 or 3 times, y'all. Okay. So it's printing the fast print. And just to give you an idea of how fast the fast print prints, this is it so that you can know, probably maybe a minute versus maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Don't y'all like my cute little V bold sign? I love that little V bold because that's me. A bold V. Not for the other V, but for the boss, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys the difference between the two when it comes out. Okay, and let me see. Let me clean off my lens a little bit. Did I do anything? I think I did a little better. Okay, that did a little bit better. Okay. Well, then knocked y'all down. So I have y'all on that thing that, that turns back and forth, but that thing will never work for me. So I don't even have it charged anymore. Okay, so another look. Let's go over here. And this is the print that was printed on with fast off as just a standard print. And this is the print printed with fast on, right? And I'm gonna look at it and I'll tell y'all if I see the difference. Fast off, fast on. Fast off, right? I mean fast on. This is fast printing. This is the fast off. They look totally exactly the same. Okay, so we'll go ahead and print the other ones. The difference is this one is a lot wetter. With the fast printing, this is a lot wetter. So if you start seeing that, hey, it's a little bit wet, not wet to where it's soaking wet, but or gonna mess up the transfer, but it's a little bit wetter so it doesn't cool off of there. But what you could do is you could just lay it, just lay your transfers over to the side like that one that I pressed. I don't think it was totally dry, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do these other ones. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and print out the fronts first. So I'm gonna go into the document and change it to page 2 to print page 2, and I need 2 copies so that way I can be printing page 2 and cutting up page 2 while the other ones are printing. And then I'll go back to print and we'll go to the current page, and now we'll go in here and make sure. So we have high speed printing on, so it's going to print it fast. And I'll do, what do we need? We got 24, we got 4, we need 21 prints. Go ahead and print the 21 prints. And that's about it, how it works, y'all. I've been trying to clean up my room, um, getting it all cleaned up and together, and that's really about it. What I've had going, if you notice, Lily has come in here and ridden all over my stuff. Oh, it comes right off. Good. She used the dry erase pen, so I can use that to use something and just wipe it off. Because that Lily is my granddaughter. Those who don't know, she comes into my office. I have to make sure that I leave stuff down for her to mess with. And so she'll come in and she will mess with certain things in my office. Come on here. Okay. So I'm going to move this because I'm actually using this little table to cut on. So I have like a crap load of transfers that I've pulled out that I'm going to be getting rid of. A crap load of things that I've done that I need to get rid of. I even have a bunch of the Nike transfers from when we did the event for them. These are not bootleg. These are, you know, for when we did the stuff for them that they have not used. So I'm gonna kind of reach out and say, hey, are y'all gonna use these or not? I have these prints that have a basketball on them, so I'm gonna kind of cut around those. So this is the design that's going on the front. And I was able to get like 16 of these to a sheet. So that's when using these transfers really handy, because if you can get so many, get that many to a sheet, then that's good. So like I said, it's a little bit wet, but it's not, or moist, or whatever you want to call it. You could cut this with a cutter. This is going to be my pocket prints. I see that the top print on the pocket, you also got to do inventory control. That top print on the pocket where it says GL Good, right there, the top of the G's are cut off. So I'm not going to be able to use those. These are the types of jobs that I would do when I started out all day long. I make probably anywhere from $800 to $1,500 a day in my booth doing these types of prints. These are great for craft fairs and things like that, places where you're doing like print on demand. Back in the day, this was the print on demand, y'all. This was the print on demand. I still stand by these transfers. There's still a place in the market for them. Now, you're going to get this to your corporate clients that are, or your lawn guy who's wearing the shirt 5 days a week. Absolutely not, right? Are you going to give it to somebody that's in, that like wears their shirts to the gym all the time? No, these are specialty shirts These are shirts that you want to let your customers know, hey, you got 50 washes on these. It's not something that you want to, that they want to be wearing every day, because you got 50 washes. But when you say, okay, let's say how many times a month does a person normally wear a shirt? Um, let's say you wear that shirt once a month, right? You got 2.5 years. So this will last you 2.5 years. Um, Sometimes people have a favorite shirt that they like to wear over and over and over and over again. This wouldn't be for that. So you got to make sure that you know what the customer is going to be using it for. Put y'all on the big screen over here. Let's see here. I knew y'all was out there saying something. I knew y'all was out there saying something. I don't know what is going on with this thing, but at the last comment I see is Keisha on here, y'all. For some reason, my phone will not show the rest of the comments, and I see y'all on here. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Jesse, A to Z, Crafty Creations. I already talked to Keisha. Hey, my girl, Cynthia is in the house. And Dim Quiz says bubbles. I'm not sure what he means. Maybe that was him or her. Sorry. I don't know what your sexual orientation is. But maybe you're talking about the when I showed that first print. That was from the print still being dry. Um, Thank you, Cynthia. I love that sign too. It was like $5, $6, girl. I think I got it from the Five Below store. So I'm just gonna make sure that all of these dry and go ahead and print. I can go ahead. What's going on? No, I thought that maybe by the time I print this set, then the little bitty letters, they'll be dry by the time I hit this, y'all. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna actually take these glasses off. And again, so this is using, now one other thing that you can do that I've done before also is, if let's say that you have a printer and you converted that printer over to sublimation and you don't have a regular inkjet printer to print your transfers out with, and you want to do sublimation, use the sublimation ink on cotton shirts, you could use a Jet Pro Soft Stretch, and it would work. Um, because what happens is, you remember that, and this is what y'all have to remember, is that we talking about sublimation only sticks to polyester, right? So these sheets have polymer on it, okay? So poly, and that's actually what the ink is sticking to, is the polymer, right? And so it will it will dye sublimate that and then adhere to the shirt. You won't have a issue. JL. Oh, I done knocked that. I done cut that off. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my heat press on. Another thing I don't like about this heat press is that it cuts off every 15 minutes. I don't need my heat press to cut off every 15 minutes. I'm not in elementary school and I'm not a kid. And sometimes prepping stuff and all of that stuff, you prepping and whatnot, and prepping your shirts, and it'll cut off on you. I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all, y'all. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so y'all look good to see. I can't see y'all's comments, but go ahead and start hitting these fronts. Just setting this up to get these fronts on this design. And let's see here. My thingy is under here. Okay. 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 Now on these pockets, I am going to just do this number right here. So what I'm going to do is figure out where I want to put all of these prints at. And so I'm going to actually come down from this collar right here, and right about there is where I'm going to be. And so I'm looking, as I'm doing this, I'm going to show y'all what I'm looking at. So on this HTV front press, it has this little, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm going to line this up with the collar, right? And then I'm going to know, okay, I'm actually coming down off of this image. Let me turn the camera around so that I can actually see. Okay. So when I'm doing my pockets, I'll show y'all how I'm doing the pockets. So here is the pocket right here. The edge of your shirt. So you're literally going to come down, straight down about 7 inches. You can do with pockets. Pockets can vary. It can be the top of the pocket. It can be in the center of the pocket. But as long as you're getting in that pocket area, right? So if you look at this print right here, if I align this to this, okay, so basically aligning this to the collar, right, and then coming right here, which is about the center of this sleeve. And like I said, you can come down as long as you don't go below this sleeve. Don't go below the bottom of this. So you could come right here. We're going to use this as our guide, and then everything will be centered on the shirts every time we do it. So that is the method that I'm going to use for this today. Okay. So while it's going, I'm just going to be doing this because I got 25 seconds in between everything. So might as well fold my shirts. I feel like I need to drop down lower than the press, y'all. I think I'm going to switch that because I'm so left-handed that it's going to be difficult for me to do. So I'm going to switch that and I'm going to come this way. Because this way I have to go up underneath the machine, and so I don't want to do that, y'all. So I'm going to come over, I'm going to do my pre-press, and I'm going to just go ahead and do it the way that I normally do it, but just kind of showing y'all some ways that if you're new that you could do to save you some time. My prints up here. What's going on here? Was not counting down, and I don't know why it was not giving me the countdown, but we're gonna just come here. Where's my glasses? Because I do want my glasses on while I'm doing this, so that I can make sure that I can see. I have to look through this paper to make sure that I'm putting these prints where they need to go. You could prep this like, for some reason my printer is not, this machine is not counting down. So I need to figure out why it's not doing the countdown, y'all. It's not counting down. And I need to figure out why this baby is not doing my countdown like it should be doing. We're good with that one. There is our print. Are you not? Are you sticking? What's going on with you? 1, 2, 3. That is counting down. Okay. I'll go ahead and turn it on auto, and so it will do that automatically. Go ahead and hit my A. But you guys see where the print is on the shirt, right there to the side. We good. Now I'm not gonna peel the other ones because, like I said, I'm gonna be doing, I gotta do front and back, and so I'll peel them all at the same time when I do this. I got a feeling, I'm wondering if that, move that over some. There we go. If maybe that hump, sometimes with this press, it's such a cheap press, y'all, that that hump, whenever you have something humped over, it will affect that print. Just put a hand there and come there, boom, right there. We're good to go. There we go. Yeah, that T-square will slow you down. Once you start, once you just kind of know where you're going to put them and you want it to be consistent, once you get your rhythm down, you'll be good. That's what it is, y'all. I'm positively sure now. See this little hump? That's causing that not to. So when I do that, this has to be completely flat. Other heat presses don't do that. Now it's counting down. That's why I'm not crazy about this press at all. Um, Not at all. I'll tell y'all the real on here. Um, because the pressure on this thing is so freaking sensitive, it just drives me crazy that it does that. It does. It just drives me crazy that it does that. It's like, okay, I don't know what to say about it. Um, so I just gotta make sure that the whole thing, that it's completely flat and does not have any issues. Like I said, the heavier weight cotton shirts, regular basic t-shirts, um, with a tight weave, those are the types of shirts that do the best on this. I do have a couple of ring spun shirts in here that I'm gonna do it with. Um, did I press that already, y'all? I do have a couple of ring spun cotton shirts that are mixed in here. Um, but the best shirts that this works with is those ultra cotton shirts. Works really, really good with ultra cotton. Works good with the Hanes brand. When you do the comfort colors and things like that, you can do them, but you got to make sure that you go back and do that second press. I can't see the comments on the phone, so I'm gonna go over and look every now and then for y'all. And no, I'm not pre-pressing, for anyone who might ask. Okay. Okay. Whew. Hey, big boy, how are you? Okay. Is this one done or no? Oh, that's not done either. Okay. Make sure that you press it on the right side. Make sure that the transfers are up, or the right, that your transfers are flipped when you do this. Ideally, if I was to go there, I could probably put 2 shirts on here. If I was on my Geo Night, that's the difference. I would press 2 shirts at a time. On this, I don't think I will be able to do it, because any type of humps or anything like that on this press will definitely affect the press, y'all. So, and you have to do 2 presses on this, versus if I was on my Geo Night, I would do 1 press and be done. And my second press from this is going to come today. It's going to come because it's going to be that back press. So that's why I'm leaving it on here. Because my second press is going to be my back press, y'all. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more right there. Oh, I'm so used to pushing that button. So that's going to be my second press. While I am getting these done, so my fronts are over there just chugging along and getting printed up. And while that's going, I'm gonna move this table. I love these little serving tray tables because I'm able to do so much with them. I can just move them all around as I'm working. Like I said, these are warm now, and I could peel them, but I'm gonna leave it on there because I don't have anything on the bottom of the press. I don't want Teflon on it or anything like that. So the great thing about this is I can sit here and I can do this, and if I'm checking emails, I can still come back and say, okay, well, let me check that email. Well, dang, I might have messed that one up, y'all. That's why I never have my auto on, because I like to have the option to pull that back if I see anything that's wrong. Hey, Rug Crafting, how are you? Hey, Jesse. So, let's talk pricing. A basic cotton t-shirt will run you anywhere from $2.50 to, let's say, $3. You order the transfers, an 8.5 by 11-inch transfer. Let's say it'll run you 50 cents. So we are doing 25 of these on 2 transfers. So about $1 worth of transfers will do these 25 pockets, right? And then the 25 that you have, that you're doing the your actual prints, the 25 big prints that you have, that you're gonna do. So let's say $20 in materials, and then you have inks if you're using it. EcoTank printer, the cost of ink is very minute. When I started out, we didn't have EcoTank printers. I was using those little bitty cartridges, and so thus, I was spending a lot of money on ink back then. A lot of money on ink. A lot of money on ink. You don't have to worry about the transfer coming through the shirt like you do with sublimation either. Like I said, this type of print is for when you are You have somebody that's last minute, they need something, they are 50 washes, 50 washes, right? I used to always keep a whole, at least 100 white shirts for last minute people, who wanted to do shirts. This is the first time I've done this in a while now. I think it's the first time that y'all seen me do it this year. Y'all have seen me do plenty of them on the channel. But there's still a place for it, and you can do it. It's a great way to just make money at home or whatever. And here's the thing, I've never had a customer come back that had an issue, that said anything negative about the transfers. And I've been doing these transfers for 24 years. So my other prints are done over there. Or, well, I guess it's not done. They sounded like they were done, but they're not done, y'all. Sounded like they were done. Now, when you start doing, if you're new and you just, you've never done this before, I would tell you that there's a wrinkle in there. If there's a wrinkle in there, that wrinkle will affect your print. So I gotta try to get that wrinkle out of there, y'all. This is going to go straight into the shirt. So you don't have to worry about pre-pressing with this like you have to do with some different types of materials or different other types of things. You don't have to really worry about that. So the great thing is Ken AI Ken is on his job, and I don't have to really worry about the website right now as I'm doing this. I do still have to worry about emails, but I have my desktop email notification on, and I have not heard it bing, so we are good to go. As far as that goes, it's the end of the month, and I don't get a lot of calls at the end of the month. Now, you could just, like I said, you could just take this print and just pop it on a shirt, right? But you only want to do it where you have ink. So cut that extra polymer off. I don't cut around it with a silhouette, or I don't even have a silhouette anymore, y'all. That thing, my brother came, he picked the thing up. So I don't have a silhouette anymore, and I've never owned a Cricut. I am using, the only thing I use the cutter for is to do vinyl and stuff like that. I am going to do something. I've been planning on doing a video where I show you how to use your regular vinyl cutter without the contour feature, to how we used to do it back in the day where you could still contour cut, because that's what I'm going to be doing. If I have something that I need to contour cut, when I say contour cut, cut around the image, that's what I would have to do now. I would have to do it the old school way, because I'm not going to buy another cutter And so I do have access to one silhouette, which is the one that Keek has here. Um, but I'm not gonna really call my daughter and be like, hey, bring me that machine. My brother in Houston has the other one. So, and I'll do that. Like, I try to get everybody in my family make money off of t-shirts, print. They're gonna do something custom to make money. I just believe that you should, if you are in business and once you got your business going, you should empower your kids, you should empower your friends, whoever. If they want to make them a little bit of extra money, um, you know, and you have a skill, you should be able to help them out. Not necessarily give them equipment, but if they wanted to learn how to do something and they're really serious about learning, and that's the key, that a lot of people not serious about learning, or they'll say, I've got friends that have been around me for 20, 30 years. I got friends that, um, when I started the business, I told, hey, we finna do these t-shirts over here. You better, you want to get down, you want to get involved, and they didn't want to get involved. And then as the business has grown, people are like, they want to eat. Sorry, y'all. They want to eat. Well, you know, not that it's too late, but with training, I have people that'll call and they'll be like, you teach everybody else how to do t-shirts, but you won't teach me. Well, hell, I'm on YouTube showing people how to do it. So, you know, I'm not going to give you a private class unless you pay. So, that's the thing. That part. So all I'm doing again is coming down off of this and pushing back off of this. So boom, here we have it. And putting my hand here to where I got like that 4 inches or so. I'm not doing too much work to it, y'all. Not too much work. I don't believe in overworking. Um, so that's why y'all don't really see me like I don't really use a T-square or ruler or anything. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you need to do, then that's what you do. And then they have the um the rulers. As a matter of fact, let's see, where are they? I've got a whole set of rulers here. I'll probably just save it and give it away at Bosscation. So Bosscation 2024, I am in the midst of working on it. Um, I'm really torn this year, y'all, about doing a Bosscation. I'm still teaching. I have one client that I'm working with that I'm going to his shop and doing private classes, and then everybody else is pretty much on, consultation. But we are still hosting private classes here if if somebody's trying to print. But I don't have specific class dates, and I'm not putting up class dates this year. I'm gonna do one class, which is gonna be Bosscation. It will be same time. I think this year it will fall on September 15th, 16th, 17th, which would be check-in would be on the 15th. I think that's a Friday. So check-in will be Friday. Class will be Saturday and Sunday. Um, from 9 to 5, trying to figure out if I'm going to do Bosscation the same way. A lot of things went great with Bosscation. A lot of people learned a lot of things. Last year with Bosscation, I was so overwhelmed because I had so much stuff going on. It was talking at impressions. We did the impressions talk. We did a live screen print event. middle of Bosscation, I had just came off of doing like 2 or 3 lives. So your girl was dead tired, right? And so to me, I don't think that I gave 100% of what I could have given with screen print. It was a little bit of unorganization. Um, and, it was the first time that I had women in the same household. So I'm looking for feedback from the people who went, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you got from it, what you feel that you want to get from it this year. I'm trying to decide whether, because a Bosscation was originally supposed to be the VIPs in the household, plus people who want to come, and if they wanted to get a hotel room and still do stuff, still come in and do the day classes, they were able to do that. This year, I'm gonna switch it up some. We're gonna do some basic stuff on day one, day two, and it's gonna be pretty much based on who's coming and their skill level. So, but we're gonna get into some intermediate stuff. So we're gonna do some CMYK, some simulated process printing, a bunch of specialty printing, things like that. And I'm trying to decide, because somewhere in there is, it has to be, I have to work in marketing and tell you guys the secrets to getting customers, right, in that class. And give more than what I give here on YouTube, to where, and that was a part of the course that I did not, of Bosscation, that I wanted to do last year, that I did not really get to dive deep into, because I'm tough. I'm strong on those email lists and on building customers. Over the last, what is it, probably 6 months, I've added about 1,600 customers to my email list by doing just one tweak, right? And because at the end of the day, no matter how good you learn how to print, you got to have customers. And even though we didn't really get to teach a lot of that like I wanted to, the great thing is that with me, you do get, once you part of the boss team, in the boss collective, then you do get the ability to contact me and ask me questions and all of that stuff. So I have tons of ladies who contact me, ask me questions, men too. Men, I normally refer, a lot of them prefer talking to Ken. So, you're able to reach out to us and contact us and say, hey, I have such going on. What do you think about this? And we're able to offer guidance and give you tips to help you get those customers that you need and further your business. And so somewhere in there, we're going to have to incorporate some AI stuff on this channel. We're going to have to, because AI is doing things that you and I could never do. Right now, I'm testing something with my AI Ken, and hopefully by Bosscation, I have it down 100%. It's not where it needs to be, but an AI assistant if an AI assistant can knock off like 50% of the tasks that you do, it's amazing. If it can do 75%, it's amazing. Any avenue, any kind of way that it can bring in extra money to your business is going to help you. So I'm really getting deep into this AI stuff. And I've noticed that the t-shirt manufacturers are deep into AI and bots and things like that. Pretty soon, y'all. Hell, they'll probably try to replace us on printing. They've already done it in the garment decorating industry. I saw a really, really interesting video that my girl Michelle Moxley did. Michelle Moxley is with M&R, and she's doing AI over on and not AI artwork as like most of y'all are would assume, right? But she's doing these different clips and different videos about AI over on the Ink Kitchen's channel. So if you're not subscribed to the Ink Kitchen, then make sure you go subscribe to the Ink Kitchen. And if you're not subscribed to the Lady Print Boss channel, then I don't know what you're doing. Make sure you subscribe over here too. Um, Looks like my print's about done. But let me grab the prints and then I'll continue talking. But she's doing some work over there that is really amazing, the things that she's showing. So she did a video the other day. And that video was showing the technologies, how AI has advanced in the garment decorating, and not garment decorating, but garment printing industry, right? As far as doing patterns, the AI machines are sewing. So one AI machine replaces 10 operators. Let that shit sink in. So while I'm a fan of AI, I don't like that it's replacing humans, but that's where we're going, right? And it's actually, these machines are actually sewing, y'all. They're actually sewing. They're taking the garments, putting the garments on the machine. The precision is amazing. So pretty soon you'll see, I'm pretty sure they'll come out with a automatic press that will be much further advanced than anything that we've seen. They already have loaders that will load your shirt and take the place of a human loading. And we're talking about, $1 million businesses, even $1 billion businesses having that, not something that we would have. But even at the show, I saw, at the Long Beach show that was playing, they were showing packaging, how the robots were packaging your items for you and tagging them, getting them ready to be shipped out, all that type of stuff. Let me check my emails. Those are still wet. So as I'm working and all of that stuff, we still got a business to run over here. So let me go over here and just check a couple of emails just to make sure that of what we have going on. Let's see here. Dismiss that. Let me check my email and then we're going to get back to the conversation at hand. So I'm finding, y'all remember I said this year I would be doing much more oh gosh, what is this here? Okay, blocked out due to other 404 issues. Let me see here. So I got a 404 issue over here on a page that I need to have indexed, and so I'll go in and fix that. But I'm looking for customers to see if I have any customers that have hit with. Okay, so we got one. Let's do that. Let's take that. Canceled. Why the hell was my order canceled? Oh, hell no. So they done canceled my order? What the? So I ordered like a bunch of shoes, y'all, and they canceled my order. That done pissed me off. Okay. Okay, so I do have one order that I see that I need to do, so I'm just gonna mark it, and then this one snooze to later today. These two will drop down. These are snooze. Hold on, y'all. It's saying the package has arrived. So either the package has arrived or it has not. Snooze those. Okay. Okay, y'all. So let me go back to what we were talking about. Okay. High Drift Spa. Okay, so oh, Keisha. Oh, I'm glad. Now that's good. That's what I want to hear. But even with that being said, and I know that there are some people who made, like, I've talked to some people and people that have made a change in their life, right? But me, knowing that what I've given to others and what I could do, um, is always going to be much more, right? Much more, much more. So it's time to give more. Like I critique myself on my training as well as I do on shirts, right? And so there were some things that I didn't like at Bosscation, right? It was some of the things with the organization, and I did not like. And because I was so tired and so fatigued and just out of it, right? Trying to do, and then we did an order at Bosscation, right? We actually did an order at Bosscation. So it was a lot of stuff that we were doing and cramming into those days to get work done. Um, and because of that, day three, if y'all remember, I was just like super, super tired and out of it. So this time, I'm not going to we're not going to do a real order. We're probably not going to do a live event. The live event was awesome. I think it would be awesome for somebody to do. If that's the only thing that I have to do, and leading up to Bosscation, I'm not boom, 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 boom. So my intentions this time is to literally take like 3-4 days before the event. A lot of things are already ready now for this year's Bosscation. Trying to decide if I wanted to do it in September, if I wanted to just say, hey, let's all just go to Long Beach and just do it in Long Beach. Um, I had looked at a venue up in Atlanta for us to do Bosscation there, but the dates are not available for the location. So trying to figure that all out, but definitely want to bring in more sales and marketing strategies, right? And there are people, and here's the thing, y'all. I want to bring in other people who train also, right? Because people can learn, you can learn from, everybody has their different skills. The problem is that, and I don't know, somebody have to tell me. The problem is that because I've been in the industry for so long in training, that people don't want to train with me or come in and do, because people feel like, hey, they're getting critiqued or whatever, right? And so, but there are a lot of topics that other people in the industry could bring that I couldn't bring, right? And so that's been a challenge. Like, you know, I've talked to one lady who is amazing, and she's like, Latana, I just don't feel comfortable, coming up and training. I don't feel like I can. And I'm like, no, you can do it because you bring different things than what I can't bring. So it leaves a lot of work. It leaves a whole lot of work on me to do. It leaves a lot of work on me to do. But this year is going to be way more organized. We're not going to try to do any cooking this year, y'all. We're not trying to do any cooking this year. Everybody's going to be on their own. Everybody going to be on their own, so we're not going, because that just didn't work. Getting up trying to cook and all of that, it just didn't work. So, and I think that of the ladies who were in the house, we might can all agree on that it was just a lot. Maybe, going out to dinner or something like that as a group. Um, and, something like that. Maybe that'll work, because the other stuff, it didn't work. But we definitely want to bring in more marketing, working on sales techniques, working on the administrative side of your business. And something that is very dear to me is making sure that, talking about like a sisterhood, a brotherhood, making sure that you have different coping mechanisms, ways that you can cope with things when things go awry, right? Because, or when you're just tired and you're just fatigued. Y'all see me all the time on this channel. I'll work, I'll hit it, and make my money. And then after I do that, it's like, okay, I need a break. And that's why I can't do events back to back. You guys will see me. I'll take 3 and then I'll back up. So I don't have any this month. I had a couple of people that called me for June. I turned down 2 events, and I also had 2 events that turned me down. Okay, so that type of thing, um, and just about getting customers, building that client base and stuff. So still trying to get these transfers done. So if you see, I'm just leaving a thin line across those, y'all. Would have been good had I had these done prior to the video being done, but I mean, it is what it is, right? On this channel, you working on orders, and you're doing things, and sometimes you gotta see somebody do stuff in real time, so that you actually know like how long this actually takes and all that type of stuff. Yes, Bosscation 2024. Um, I've actually looked at several venues and was trying to find a place a little bit bigger than what we had last time. Um, and so the spot, of course, the house is available. One thing I think that we all can agree on is the jacuzzi. Is that we gotta have a jacuzzi. Um, we gotta have a jacuzzi. A pool would be nice, you know, but I think that had it not been for the jacuzzi, um, I would not have made it through. It was nice and it was relaxing. Some of y'all other ladies, I think Keisha got in there, Kiki got in there, and I did. I think Tampa, did you get in the jacuzzi? But some of us got in the jacuzzi. I think that y'all need to just, hey, that jacuzzi was really nice. Um, Me and Tampa was looking at a place with a pool the other day, was it? Yeah, the jacuzzi was wonderful. So I think we all want that. Now I think that this year we're not going to be worried about being on the water, because water is my thing. Um, in case y'all don't, the people who are on here that don't know, I grew up around on a lake, going back and forth to lake houses and stuff like that. And so just being around the water calms me. It calms me. We don't have to actually be on the water. We had the kayaks last year, but Ken was the only person that went out in the kayak. I was going to go out in the kayak, but once I saw Ken walking back, when we saw Ken go out, little side funny story. We're sitting out there, we're in the jacuzzi. My daughter Kiana says, Mom, get your husband. He's going out in the kayak. Now, Ken told us um, the tide is kind of high. I don't think you ladies should go out in the kayak. I'm going to go. He said he was going to go out in the kayak and test it out. Now, when we're talking about the kayak, we're talking about a big lake. And we're not talking about a pond. We're talking about a huge lake with water. Tampa said, is this a lake? A huge, huge lake. So Ken gets a kayak and he goes out to go test out the water. Where we're in the jacuzzi, so we only can see Ken's head. And I'm looking, where's Ken? We don't see Ken. Little do we know, this is the story that Ken told when he came back. He said he got in the water. He said, babe, I got in the water and I'm trying to, row out. And he said the tide just started taking that ass away. And he said his mind was saying, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to jump out. So he was down there fighting, and we did not know that it's really not funny because it was a distress thing. And so he finally made himself back to land, and he came up dragging the kayak, and I saw this one bead of sweat as he walked by us. And we all knew, okay, we're not doing the kayak. So then at that point in my mind, I thought, okay, maybe the mountain climbing thing with the rock climbing with Keisha would have been a better idea than for us to get out there in the kayak. So this year we're not even thinking about kayaking. We're not thinking about the water like that this year because it could have been really, really bad. It could have been really, really bad. Oh, yeah, it could have been really, really bad for that. So just kind of thinking, and I'm actually thinking because some people went to Bosscation and then did not start screen printing. So my thought for that is I want the people who want to come to Bosscation and you want to be able to learn some things, but not, not screen print, right? Because you can use these skills with anything that you do. So trying to figure that out, but it's only so much that we can cram into so many days. So, maybe it'll be just advanced. Maybe I'll do a day of advanced screen printing, and then maybe advanced screen printing techniques. Um, and then the marketing and sales and all of that stuff. And if I promote this one to people who are already printing, or have some knowledge of printing, it should move things on a little bit faster, and we should be able to get through some things. So it's kind of like trying to figure out, like, what do we want to offer at this publication? Do we want to offer artwork? Do we want to, what do we want to do? So that type of thing. And it would be great if, if I could pull in somebody that could do other things, because while I'm doing something, then maybe you don't want to do this, then you can go and you could do that, um, because we did have Tampa last year did her AI class, which was good, because we did get to learn, because that was at the beginning of AI, so we did get to learn some things about AI. Now that they are doing that, you can actually create the images over in AI and do the editing and stuff like that. Hopefully by Bosscation, I'll have all that stuff down, and maybe we could do something, have an option for that. Mel did the, what was it? What do y'all call it? With the laser, made those the phone cases for us and showed us how to do that, which I was really interested in. I thought that was really, really interesting. But nobody got into that. So I only want to offer like things that people are doing this year, because she originally was supposed to do rhinestones, and then I think that really Patrice has so many different videos on rhinestones that I don't know. I don't see a reason for us to do any rhinestones anymore. Um, and maybe embroidery, you know. Anything else y'all want to see? Yeah, X2. She did the X2. And I thought the X2 was really cool. And I would really like to, I would like to, I saw the X tool, and I'm not sure if it was X tool, but it was some type of tool, and it was doing like the laser patches and things like that. So if I was to see something like that, it would probably be for another event, or for like something that we could actually sell, right? Because for us, we want to have things that we're selling, and I don't think that any of us are really selling those, or are into the woodworking side of things. So maybe like you know lasering, etching on tumblers, or something that we could do. I may bring in, and y'all tell me if y'all want it, because it goes perfectly along with screen printing. I did find my pad printer and what it can do with it. I need to ask him what did he do with it. So I think pad printing, along with the in there with the screen print press, because it literally takes like 5 minutes to show you how to pad print. You're burning the screen, the plate, the same way that you're burning the screen, so it'll be a really, really low learning curve. And with pad printing, it's a machine that's very affordable. You could do pens, You could do the inside of your neck tags. You could do keychains. You could do bottles and cups and stuff like that. So maybe pad printing would be something to do, to just have there, not as a class, but just have there. I've been planning on pulling it out and doing some stuff here with it. So I think that would be something that could be cool. But I'm looking for a showstopper, and I don't know what it's going to be. Um, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think that we're into white toners and stuff like that. So I don't think we're going to have anything like that going on. And we definitely not going to do DTF printing, right? So we all know that we're not doing the DTF printing, because nobody wants to get the cancer. So we definitely not doing the DTF printing at the event. I don't want the liability. But yeah, if y'all think of something else that's cool, pad printing. That's the good thing about pad printing, Keisha, is the machines are very affordable. When I say affordable, we talking about like you get a machine for a couple $100. That would be, and so as I'm thinking about things that to add on, I'm thinking about things that would add on to help you make money in your business, right? What can we do to make money in house? Did y'all see? Talking about in house printing. Okay. Oh, I'm finna be messy. I'm finna be messy, 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 messy boots. I thought Stan Banks was my baby brother yesterday. Woo, he was throwing so much shade. I'm just telling y'all. Now, y'all know I'm messy and fun at the same time. Stan Banks did a video yesterday, a live video over on the T-shirt Side Hustle channel. Baby, if you didn't see it, you need to go watch it. And when you watch it, get your popcorn ready, because shots was being fired. I was sitting there and I was in the room and I was doing something and the notification popped up on my phone. And I said, Stan haven't been on in a while. Let me go see what he's talking about. And he was talking about it's money printing in numbers. But so let's go besides the mess, right? Besides the shot fired. And he was talking about how there's money in numbers, right? With screen print ain't dead. And I made a comment on there being funny saying, no, screen print dead. But y'all know that's just me being funny. So that people don't, know, hey, that they can make money screen print. Just me being funny. So he was on there and he was giving gems. He was dropping gems yesterday, and I was like, man, he really do get it. He was talking about like when you're outsourcing, because a lot of times, y'all see me do multiple color jobs, and I've had people say that, well, why you don't order transfers, right? And he was talking about a job that he was doing, and he decided to do the full color job in house and print it himself. And he was talking about how much money much more money, like he was saving like $500-$600 screen printing the job, which I think he said was going to take him like 5 hours to print. I'm pretty sure it didn't take him 5 hours to print, because he said, hey, I never did it like this. So I he said he had never did the full color print like that, and so he didn't know how long it was going to take him to do. And I don't know if he was flashing like between it or not, because he's moving the thing over, but he prints one, you print one color at a time. Me, it, you could speed it up by just printing wet on wet if the colors weren't touching. I couldn't see the design, so I don't know if the colors weren't touching. So that's one thing that you could take away that would speed him up. But I'm pretty sure like 120, he said he was doing 120 shirts. I would say it didn't take him no more than 3 hours. That's what I would say. Um, And he could have been calculating like the time to burn the screen and all this here. But anyways, that was an amazing video because he really did break down. Y'all got to go watch it. He really did break down some stuff. And off in between there, it was some other stuff that was going on too, where he was talking about, different things, people telling you things and stuff like that. Baby, you got to read in between the lines. You got to read in between the lines. Y'all know I'm from the hood, so I'll be like, popcorn. Oh, it was good. It was probably the best talk I've ever seen him do. I was there for all of it. So y'all go over there and check that out. Now that's enough of me. But he was really telling some real stuff about like printing and uh making your profits and stuff like that. Um I got some extra prints. Those can be used for something later on down the line. Turn that back on. We're about to get this part print. But in this video, he was talking about. Hold on. Okay, sorry, y'all. My husband calling in. But in all honesty, when he was talking about like colors and your time and printing those jobs and screen printing, y'all know screen printing is just that's where my heart is. And he was telling some real life stuff like about like how a lot of times you see people here on YouTube and they're not really you giving advice on things that you've never done, right? That you've never done. Like I've seen people say, "Oh, no, um don't use a transfer for this or don't use this or that," right? These type of transfers that we're doing. And I would never, this, that, and other, right? But then here's the thing. You have never. And so if you have never, then you can't really speak on something that you've never done, right? You can't really speak on it. And so a lot of times you have people that, and I do see that too, that there's so many people that are on YouTube and you going through the process, right, of doing the work. And yeah, you can print a shirt, right? You can print a shirt, you can embroider a shirt, you can do different things. And you have equipment that was given to you, leased to you, um, that type of thing. But and you see and y'all see all this stuff, right? But what you don't see is the orders and the customers. I do see a lot of people now trying to convert their business over to becoming what we call a real business and making customers, getting customers. But a lot of times you see people who are doing stuff and it's just to sell you a product. It's just to sell you a product, right? And that's the sad thing, is because a lot of times people, I remember when Rick asked me, he said, hey, a lot of times when people come to you, have they purchased the right equipment? And I'm like, no, hell no. They've over purchased equipment that they really didn't need because of what they've seen people buy. And so you run out and you purchase something because you saw somebody else with it and you think, oh, that's, that'll help me in my business. But in fact, it won't. Or a person will do a video and recommend something and say, and when they recommend it, you buy it, right? I've had companies to tell me, LaTonna, you don't have to say you like it. You just got to use it, right? You just got to use it. You don't have to say that you like this, whatever it is that you're displaying. You just have to say that you just have to use it and, and show it to the people. And I think that does a disservice. That helps these companies, but it does a disservice to the print community and the people who are trying to really get their businesses started. right? It does a disservice to y'all because you're trying to really get your business up and off the ground, and you can't really get your business up and off the ground because, hey, you went and bought something that that person ain't even using after the video. So that type of thing. But I would definitely tell y'all, go check that video out because it was good. It was really, really good. So really, really good video. Like I said, with this press, it's kind of hard to see the okay. So literally, with printing, y'all, you can really, screen printing is gonna always be my favorite because of the amount of profit that is involved in, because of the amount of I knew that was gonna happen with that one. Because of the amount of profit that's involved in screen printing, it's just gonna always probably be my favorite process. Like, I've been ordering TF transfers, but the DTF transfers that I've been ordering, they are they I've only been ordering like smaller ones. Like, he made a great point in it was a really, really good point that he made when he was talking about uh, DTF print. And he was talking about the size of the print, how with DTF printing it would have cost him more to have made it that size. He said $4. I was more like probably like 5, 6. Which is, think if you buying prints and you spending $4, let's say you're doing 100 prints, that's $400 that you could take, that he could take and put in his pocket. So I thought it was an amazing video on that, y'all. What's going on here? This one right here don't want to come off. There we go. a little bit easier for me if I just get up here and just peel it from the top. And I got a base to sit it on and peel it off. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, y'all. So, y'all want to see marketing at Bosscation. What else? Okay. I need to check my emails in the midst of me doing this. So y'all, this does have a line, does have lines on it, but I'm not going down the center. I'm going like kind of like in between the lines. So that's why y'all not really seeing me like line it up. And the collar of the shirt, that round part, I'm lining it up. I normally line stuff up with stuff. So that collar of the shirt right here, I'm matching the center with this logo right here, right? So that's what I'm doing to kind of get it aligned. I do stuff like that. So this line, the edge of this square, see if you come in, you guys see the edge of that square with that? That's how I know. In case y'all out there and like, what is she doing? So all that type of stuff is stuff that I will do when I am working on stuff. Oh. That's almost completely off when you do that. See how I did that? That makes it where it almost comes completely off of the paper. There. Okay. Oh crap, look at her. I done messed up, y'all. Gotta print this upside down. I wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing. Gotta pay attention. Because when you don't pay attention, it tends to mess up. Hopefully that's the only one. Hopefully that is the only one. And when I said, let me put these glasses on so I can see through that paper. I'm in my zone now. Okay, I don't know what I did with that one, y'all, but that one, I peeled it and I got this straight line going down the middle. What I did with that. I want to try something with this press. I want to see if I do a cool, if I do a peel, if I let it cool and then I come back and do that second press on the heat, if it would work. Okay, I see what's going on here. So that line is coming from that fold. When I did that fold earlier, so I'm gonna have to press that fold out. I'm gonna have to press that fold out, y'all. Because that fold was putting a line going down the middle of my print right there. Which that means there's 2 shirts I gotta replace. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this job out. I probably got about 15 more. I'm probably gonna take me a break, check my emails, and finish it out. And then I'm gonna do my final press in the back on the Geo Night. Um, you can come anytime that I pretty much don't have, like as long as I don't have an event, just I'll reach out to you or just reach out to me, give me a call and we can talk about it. Wish I had my laptops, can't do anything at the shop, but I will take a few hours to organize it while I'm in town today. Yep. Make sure I got that line out of there. Yep, that fold. Let that cool some because it's super, super hot. With that fold, I'm going to have to go ahead and press these so that that line is out of those shirts, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and as I go through, do, okay. The trip is in July. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Okay. Let me just leave it unread. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and take me a break. It's getting hot in here in the room, and I'll post these over on the community page when I'm done with them. See y'all later. Bye-bye.